My name is Juan Antonio Colunga, and today I'm going to be presenting our international investment project. My teammates for this project are Ms. Sofia Castillo, myself, Ms. Lauren Deschamps, Ms. Claude Khadi, and Claudia Santos. For this year's project, we actually had to keep track of 4 stocks, 2 of which were American-based and 2 that were foreign-based. The other 2 stocks that we selected are from Mexico and from Peru. We were given $40,000 and we allocated $10,000 per stock, and we tracked their performance. Throughout this project, we're going to be presenting our company's backgrounds, our individual stock performance, the US and stock market analysis, foreign and stock market analysis, stock and foreign currency analysis, and stock and American exchange rate analysis. So our company's backgrounds. Grupo Aeroportuario del Centro del Norte is the largest airport operator in Mexico, and it's based in the central and northern region of Mexico. It was actually listed for NASDAQ in Santos. For this year's project, we actually had to keep track of 4 stocks, 2 of which were American-based and 2 that were foreign-based. The other 2 stocks that we selected are from Mexico and from Peru. We were given $40,000 and we allocated $10,000 per stock, and we tracked their performance. Throughout this project, we're going to be presenting our company's backgrounds, our individual stock performance, the US and stock market analysis, foreign and stock market analysis, stock and foreign currency analysis, and stock and American exchange rate analysis. So our company's backgrounds. Grupo Aeroportuario del Centro del Norte is the largest airport operator in Mexico, and it's based in the central and northern region of Mexico. It was actually listed for NASDAQ listed in NASDAQ in 2006. Gran Montero is the largest real estate developer and biggest industrial distributor in Peru. It has 23 subsidiaries in Latin America, and it was listed in the New York Stock Exchange in 2013. Tesla Motors is an American company that focuses on electric vehicles as well as its components, and it was listed oldest stock presented here, and Tesla is our newest one. So moving on to the stock performance. This is the stock performance of the Grupo Aeroportuario del Centro, and you can see that the stock steadily increased during the evaluation period, which actually was February 2nd to April 19th. Following on our stock on Gran Montero, this was actually our most profitable stock. It started with a value of around $2.30 per stock, and it ended up cutting off at 2.64, making it our highest stock. And it almost quadrupled its value. This is the individual stock performance of the Tesla company, and also you can see a little bit of a decrease and then a healthy increase throughout the rest of the period. And last is the individual stock performance for GE. It is actually very constant. You can see that it doesn't really move a lot. It's between $30 and $28 the lowest, so it moves around $2 in around 2 months. The stock performance reasoning. So here we have a list comparing the stock initial price and the stock final price, and we see a percentage change in the stock increase, and we give a primary reason as to why the stock changed. So for the Grupo Aeroportuario, we see an increase of 28%, and actually we see that, and this is the primary reason for this, an increasing dividend payout. In the most recent shareholder meeting, the company mentioned that they would increase their shares by 16.7%. For Gran Montero, the reason of the really high increase of 233%, it's a boost in the mining economy of the Peruvian nation. This company is profited because this is Peru's biggest industrial distributor, and it actually provides several of the mining metals that are produced. Moving on to Tesla Motors. Tesla issued a proxy statement recently that it reflects the company's achievement of several goals, including the aggregate vehicle production of 100,000 cars, and a complete Model 3 engineering prototype, as well as several orders for the Model 3. Sofia will further mention that. And lastly, the General Electric Corporation, their stock increased healthily due to their exit of the lending business. As an international conglomerate, GE is what used to be a strong force in the lending business, and they are recently exiting their business by selling their lending facilities to other.
Good morning, my name is Sofia Castillo, and I will be focusing on the 2 U.S. companies that we chose and their relationship with the U.S. stock market over a time period starting from February the 2nd to April 19th. So first, we're going to analyze GE with the American market. The U.S. stock market is aligned in green, and the GE is aligned in blue. So as you can see, they do seem to have a following the same pattern. So we would say that GE is in correlation with the U.S. market. Because the U.S. stock market is affected by things like the crash in the oil prices, and also China's slowing economy is also being a big impact. The same impacts that the U.S. stock market is going to have, the GE company will also be feeling. So hence you see the same general movement. However, it's done pretty good. It's still definitely profiting during this time frame, so it hasn't been severely affected. On the other hand, Tesla is actually a much more unique scenario in this case. You can clearly see that the stock market is not at all in comparison with Tesla's increase in stock prices. And so for the analysis, I would say that Tesla is definitely not in correlation with the market, at least during this time frame. Part of the reasons why Tesla focuses on making energy vehicles, so they don't rely extremely on oil and gas, since their cars are focused on energy. So it doesn't have that big of doesn't feel that many consequences from the crash in the oil prices. Additionally, Tesla just released a new car. It's called Model 3. And one of the new things about this car is that in contrast from previous models that were ranging from 85,000 to 100,000, this model is actually 35,000. So it's a bit more affordable, and it's more attractive to buyers, and investors know that. So of course, there's been an incredible amount of investment done in this company. I looked from an article that was saying that reservations, the pre-orders for this car are now ranging from 400,000 cars, so it's definitely a great success. If we go back towards the end of Tesla's stock prices, the reason why it's starting coming down a little bit or decreasing is actually because investors are kind of afraid that there's a huge demand for pre-orders, and they fear that Tesla might not be able to meet all those cars at the appropriate time. But it definitely has had a great success during this time period, and most certainly not in correlation with the market. And thank you.
So here we were asked to determine if the performance of our foreign stocks was driven by their corresponding markets. We have two foreign stocks. One of them is Grupo Aeropuerto, that one is based in Mexico. And we also have Grana y Montero, that one is based in Peru. And here are the index of the corresponding countries. So in this first slide, we're comparing the Mexican foreign stock to the Mexican market. And the blue line is going to be the market, and the green line is going to be the performance of the actual stock. And it seems that overall there is a connection. It seems to be a positive connection. the results are very parallel. So if the overall market tended to go up, the stock tended to go up. And likewise, if the market went down, then the corresponding stock went down. In this next slide, we have a comparison of the Peruvian stock versus the Peruvian market. The market is going to be in blue, and the stock is going to be in green. And here, overall, the relationship wasn't as strong as in the Mexican market. As you can see, when the market tended to go up, sometimes the particular stock didn't follow that pattern. There was a relationship, but not as strong as the Mexican market and that stock relationship. And in this slide, we're comparing the two foreign stocks to themselves. So we have OMOB versus Gram. So the Gram is going to be the blue line, and OMOB is going to be the green line. And there wasn't much of a correlation, if any, relationship whatsoever between the two foreign stocks. As you can see, sometimes when Gram went down, OMOB stayed the same. Okay. In this slide, we have to determine if stock performance is driven by the U.S. market. For that, we're using the S&P 500, and we're comparing it to both of our foreign stocks, so the Mexican one and the Peruvian one. And the results from this was that the one that had more relationship to the U.S. market was actually the stock based in Mexico. So as you can see, these two lines are pretty much close. When this one goes down as well. Sees a hike, both of them see a hike. This one is a Peruvian one, and as both of these are increasing, this one is actually going down. So OMOB and SP 500 seem to be more closely related than Gram and SP 500. Like I said, OMOB seems to be more affected by the U.S. markets, and that stock is actually based in Mexico.
Hi, my name is Khulud Khaldi. I will talk about the stock relationship with currencies. Stock relationship to foreign currency, the US company Tesla and GE. Tesla is exposed to Japanese yen, euro, and Australian dollar. And the GE is exposed to Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, and Brazilian real. Is the company's stock performance affected by exchange rate in currency? In Tesla, yes, there is a relationship to the euro. The value of the stock decreased around the same time the value of the dollar decreased. In the GE, there is no relationship between them. Relationship between stock and currency exchange rate. Since there is depreciation of foreign currency, net profits are decreasing. In the GE company, currency fluctuation due to an offset in the euro caused the decreased revenues. And these are the graphs that shows the relationship between the foreign currency. Okay. Foreign stock relationship to foreign currency. Foreign company, Grana, and Mexican company. The Grana is exposed to US, both are exposed to US dollar. Is the Grana stock performance affected by exchange rate in foreign currency? Yes. Yes, there is a relationship. The value of the stock price increased around the same time the value of dollar decreased. In the Mexican company, in relation to US dollar, there is a less decrease in stock price than decrease in the value of dollar. The relationship between stock and currency exchange rate as there is a decrease in currency exchange rate, then there is a decrease in profit as well. And Mexican company profits will decrease, but with less proportion. And the graph that shows the relationship between the foreign currency. Thank you.
So we also had to do an analysis on the performance of the stock versus the US dollar. And so what we did was look at the exchange rate movements. As of April 26th, the last time we checked was the US dollar, 17.40 Mexican pesos, and 3.28 Nuevo Sol. So we see the vast difference between the exchange rates, and we saw that, and it played heavily into the stock performances, as we saw that the Peruvian stock share gained a lot more for us as the portfolio, and the Mexican stock did not do as well. Here we compare the historical currency with the Mexican peso against the US dollar. As we can see, it's very volatile. It goes from around 18,000, or I'm sorry, 18.4 pesos in February 2nd, and then April 16th, we see that it went down to 17.4 pesos, and that's not very good when you're trying to gain from your stocks. From here, we see that the Peruvian Nuevo Sol against the US dollar was, comparing to the Mexican peso, even though it was very volatile, due to its exchange rate not being that vast of a difference, it didn't really affect the outcome in the stock share. And so we can see that on February 2nd, the Peruvian Nuevo Sol was at 3.43, and on April 16th, it was around 3.3 Nuevo Sol. And so what we found in the relationship was that between the currency's exchange rate movements and the performance of the stock, the investment period had a high correlation. The performance of the stocks were affected by the increasing exchange rate, in which increased the purchasing power of income and the capital gain, which was clearly seen with the Gran stock, which was the Peruvian mining.
Okay, so in conclusion, we see that all of our stocks actually had a healthy increase despite the adverse situations that they faced. For example, when compared to the country's stock market, Grupo Aeroportuario overperformed due to its correlation with the market. However, Grana Montero performed even more, even though it wasn't as correlated with the whole market. Tesla, even though it wasn't correlated, it still performed, and GE, due to its correlation, underperformed at the end. And now moving on to the exchange rates. The fluctuation in the exchange rates led to slow growth for Grupo Aeroportuario, steady exchange rates, and signals strong growth for Grana Montero. For Tesla, the profits could be higher, but this is mainly due to depreciation of other currencies. And for GE, an offset in the euro or a devaluation in the euro caused depreciation in other currencies that are euro adjacent, and caused an overall decrease in revenues. However, still all of our stocks were strong enough, and they led to profit. So counting our original $10,000 investment, subtracting our original $10,000 investment, we have a profits from issuance from all of our stocks, which you can see there. And the profit overall equals to $40,000. Actually, sorry, equals to $30,000. That's it. Thank you very much for your attention.